So do the clap thing again.
Yeah, the clap thing.
Good to go.
What's up?
Something else make the clap noises too.
Shut up.
You do?
So
I can't believe I said it and your minds automatically went there. You got a dirty mind.
we are, because we got experience. We're not virgin.
Do you have experience?
Yeah.
What kind of experience? Tell me.
Good experiences.
Right.
So he have to introduce himself. He's the new guy in our podcast, and
How about you do that introduction first? And then you can say we have a guest here.
but we don't do that thing in the podcast. We don't have introduction.
Why not?
We just start talking.
Okay, go for it.
So
My name is Ahmed Bostfredan, and I'm freshly graduated from Istanbul Technical University, and I majored in civil engineering. So you guys asked me and invited me here.
So today basically we want to talk about gym and hygiene and all of this kind of stuff together.
Fitness in general, fitness and health, I guess.
So yeah. So I used to go to the gym when I was teenager. I started doing sports since I was 12 or even younger, I don't remember. I was a swimmer, then I became a basketball player. I played professionally, but after my several injuries, I stopped playing any sports because I couldn't. And then I get overweight. I was about 100 kilograms, so I didn't do anything. Yeah, that's my story about the sport. But one thing that really affected my life was the injuries. I don't know if you ever experienced injuries yeah, I mean, you
I
can't.
don't know if you've experienced, bro. I literally have my casket on my hand.
So, have you ever had any injuries?
No. I mean, here's the thing. My story with the gym basically started because I sort of wanted to. I mean, this was my ideology back then. I wanted to get into the circle. I wanted to get noticed. So I started by building my core. The basics.
as a teenager.
Yeah. And it worked well. I did get some gains, but then after I got into the software business, which I am not using it as a excuse, by the way, since I got into a more sitting environment and I was too involved with projects, I just stopped it. And it was solely my mistake. I should go back to the gym very soon, but it was just mainly to build my core, build my core muscles and all of that.
I think everyone should do a sport in their life, even if they are middle age or even my father. I think they should do a light sport because of the health, not because of the shape of your body. And
for
stuff.
sure.
Because you're getting old, and when you're old, the movement's gonna be hard if you didn't do anything gym-wise or anything like this. So, how was your story with gym? How did you start?
I want to talk about how you can understand the basic of the gym and how you can start it and how you can continue it.
Yeah.
So it's a process, and it's a hard process to continue. You have to calculate all the things in there, and you understand it. People say no things, it will be no things, and the main part is to understand the main concept. So to understand it, you have to divide it in pieces, as we do in mathematical modeling in engineering. We divide the whole thing in pieces and take separately and examine it, and we understand the pieces, and when we combine it, we understand the whole thing.
Yeah.
So starting gym is also a process, and it's a whole thing. It's a vast topic. So if you take it in pieces, the one piece is fear. Fear is a natural force that drives people to do something.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and people want to control their fear. I think fear is the most vicious force in nature. You can control it.
Absolutely.
If you want to control it, it costs very much. People gone crazy.
Absolutely. Fear should be used as a tool instead of avoiding.
Yeah, it's a tool. As I said, fear is a force, and it has a direction.
Yeah.
You have to just make it turn it to the right direction.
Absolutely.
And if you turn it to the direction, because if a stream needs to be blocked, if you block the stream, it's really hard.
Yeah.
If you make a way for a stream, it's really easy and goes away to other direction.
Yeah.
And when you start the fitness, what will happen? It's you starting a change, and the change, people are scared of change.
Yeah.
And that's the fear of the change.
Yeah.
and fear of the change is like it's the opposite direction towards your goal.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you run away. You have to block those runaway ways and like blocking the paths. This is the opposite direction. So you have to turn the direction towards your goal. You have to push yourself to make a great physique and like build your muscle.
Yeah.
And we know that then the Instagram and the TikToks that people like Undertale and people like that influence people like masculinity and that. Yeah, it's important, but you have to understand the basic.
Yeah.
You have to build a foundation in your mind and support it with ideas and reasons in order to last longer.
Yeah.
You can't just make it like, oh yeah, I can go to gym with my boys and then we lift weight, we laughed and we saw some girls there. And it's not like that.
So enough with the cliches, basically, and just get to work.
Yeah, you have to understand the basic, the foundation of it. If after you build that, it's all going in the process.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there is something else after you understand the fear and how you control it. There's another fear, body dysmorphia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you
Genetic
start-
issues.
Yeah, genetic issues, and after you start the gym, you stand in front of the mirror and like see yourself in the mirror. No, I don't want this body. I want more. It's like that's when body dysmorphia comes.
Yeah.
And it's a good fear because this direction is towards your goal. It's always push you to do more, to go to the gym all day.
Absolutely.
In a week. So if you understand how you can direct your fear, you halfway there.
Yeah.
And there's another thing, the adaptability to change.
Yeah.
This is the catalyst for this process. It only makes this process faster. Some like introvert people don't have it. The social people have it, and when they go to gym, they talk to people, and they adapt to the situation there and the environment there, and they make it comfortable there, and they go always like every day to the gym to maybe speak to those people, maybe to gain their experiences.
Yeah.
So after you do this, you are like done the 80% of the work, and the last part is the remaining is make it as a habit.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at people like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Ronnie B. Coleman, I mean, these guys, they turned bodybuilding into a habit instead of a practice.
Yeah.
It's something that they cannot live without. That's the level that people should strive for.
Yeah. As well.
Ronnie B. Coleman and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Ronnie B. Coleman,
Arnold who?
Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger.
I can say the N-word, bro. I'm fucking brown.
So,
He just said that word.
Arnold Schwarzenegger also said that, and Paul Logan, I think it was a podcast. He said, "You're like 70-year-old, and why you are continuing the fitness?" And he said, "Like, look, man, you do breakfast all morning, yeah, all day, and why you don't breakfast at one time?" And he said, "It's a thing that you have to do. It becomes a habit and addiction."
It's a habit. It's like almost a part of them. You know, it's so interesting. Like, imagine the most painful thing becomes like a habit of your life where you just cannot live without it.
Yeah.
So that's the level that people should strive, for. And speaking of change and realistic expectations, people shouldn't usually look at the mirror too often. I feel like they just should focus on the process more so than the results.
But
because I mean, sure, you maybe frequently you need to track your progress. It's important, but if you just look at the mirror every second after every rep, like especially, I see guys doing this all the time.
Yeah.
And it's
actually recently one of my friends introduced us to a new guy. He came to our gym and he wanted to start it. And after every set, as he said, like, you look at my veins. I said, don't look at your body. You just leave it there and do it. Every time, how I got this big, and it doesn't matter.
It's a distraction, basically. You need to focus
Basically,
on the process.
You have to put your mind like this. And you have to, it's not about the motivation. Motivation runs out. You have to make it discipline. As I said, if you build the foundation, the discipline comes along with the way.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
It automatically comes along.
Yeah.
And after you the discipline and you think every day that not today my bicep would look a lot bigger and that. No, you have to think like if I go to the gym today, I have to push more weights than I do last week.
Yeah.
I should broke my PR. like personal.
That's a fallacy. People
Yeah.
should. Too many people have this misconception is that if that the weight that you use in your exercises are proportionally sort of relative to the gains. That's absolutely incorrect.
It's correct in some ways, because if you get stronger, there is no way that you aren't gonna get big. Like,
No, but I'm talking in a realistic manner, because some people, here's the thing, there's some guys that they do I don't know what like curls for like
ego lifting.
50.
Are you talking about ego lifting that they're not?
Ego lifting essentially.
They want to go faster and.
I mean, sure, like you cannot like train with like, let's say, I don't know, like 2 sets of like 50s like as biceps curls for the rest of your life. No, you gotta increase it like in a natural way, in a realistic way. Some fucking guys, they change it like every day as if it's like a, I don't know, some. It's not a good practice.
As I said, when I started, I was like, my body was like getting sloppy and
burnout.
I didn't feel right. I should start gym. I was in pandemic and I didn't have things to do. All things was on.
Oh yeah.
I was going crazy, so I started gym. That's
It's
what
the
it
best
is.
way. It's like an infinite sort of source of dopamine. Was it? Yeah.
So I was gym at the same time.
Really? Gym body. Having a gym body is also very effective, actually.
Very effective.
Yeah.
Now he's my brother.
Yeah.
I'm not stealing. You just.
But look at the genetic difference.
I can see it clearly, bro.
One thing about genetics, like
It's also genetics, but I know him and I don't want to roast him there. But
do it. We need some roast.
He's an intelligent guy, but he was also sloppy guy. Like he wants to delay things all the day, all the day. Like,
Yes.
When I
We already see that by recording like podcasts.
Let me tell you something about genetics. Personally, when I was doing the sports, all of my coaches, even in swimming and basketball, they told me you have bad genetics. It's not your thing. You can make it happen, but you have to work more than others. Because in like swimming, make my legs big, and in basketball, we don't need big legs. So and I couldn't make it smaller. So I was training harder to jump higher with this leg and run faster with this way. So some people, they have this like excuse that they say, oh, I got bad genetics, I don't lose weight, or I cannot gain weight. So they use these excuses to just make themselves more comfortable that why they don't go to the gym. I was a guy that I was in the gym 8 times a week, basketball and gym at the same time. So
8 times a week?
8 times a week.
how is possible?
Damn.
Like 4 times a week gym, others was like 4 other part was basketball.
You have to recover from the.
It wasn't bodybuilding gym, it was like estima and kind of
cardio stuff.
something like this. And mostly it was CrossFit. It wasn't like weights and stuff. We were doing CrossFit.
We don't like CrossFit.
Yeah, I know. Watch the me. But actually, I really like CrossFit more than bodybuilding. The things
It's about the purpose.
Absolutely.
Which purpose you choose.
What are you working for?
Yeah, what you work. Bodybuilder, the power lifter, some guys working with calisthenics, like he has to more do pull-ups and push-ups and do things.
Yeah.
It's about your purpose. When you say that you are in team in basketball, you have to make yourself like thinner,
Flexible a little bit, and that's why calisthenics would make much more sense for basketball. Same thing with Olympic, like sort of candidates and stuff.
Yeah, but for teenagers, it's hard to decide which way they want to go. Some as genetics, as you said, like Michael Jordan's children, they have genetics and they maybe taller, and they go to like directly to the basketball. But some people, like in Afghanistan, the teenagers don't have that. Don't have that thing. They can't decide it because it's too hard to decide which way should I go. They don't even start gym
because it's, I think, culturally and environmentally induced. At the same time.
But as I said, it's like you have to put your direction. You have to choose your purpose.
Absolutely.
And then work with it until the end. I choose bodybuilding because I like it. I want to do it now. I'm 23 years old, and like I finished my university. Now I can decide that which way I want to go. But the teenagers were like 14 years old. They change all the time.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of genetics as well, I mean, sure, like you could have better genetics than someone else, like in the gym. Maybe it could be your gym body, as what we have in front of us.
But Tom Blatt said that
But
you
don't
should not be victim to your genetics.
Yes.
Genetics should be
Yeah,
victim to.
yeah. But at the same time, work for it. Give it your 100% no matter what. I would put you,
Yeah.
if you have bad genetics and you still worked for it, I would put you side by side with one of the most famous bodybuilders, because both of you gave it your 100%.
I had the same thing about him. Like, I experienced a genetic story in my life, and I understand why some people, they don't want to do it because they say, oh, I'm not that tall enough. When I was first time I went to the real team, we play in the league, my height was 165. I didn't have the power to shoot threes, and other guys in the gym was above 150. So I was the shortest guy. Like, if I show you the pictures, the jersey they give me was much bigger for my size. And so after a while, I was short. So I was like, okay, I'm short. By like muscle wise, I'm smaller than them. But this means that I'm faster than them. I'm quicker than them. So I use that things that they don't have as my benefits. I was a small, so I could run faster. I couldn't rebound, but I could defense much better than others. So you should find your weakest spot and make it your like powerful spot. You know what I mean? So that's what I did, and it actually worked for me. But because of the injuries, I couldn't. I could control it. I could continue it. But you know, when lots of things happen to you, and lots of people say this is the time to stop. And it was my last year of high school, so I have to study, and all of this comes together, and I stop it. Nowadays, I'm trying to go back in the track, lose some weight. I'm trying to play basketball, but like, I may not be ever good as before because my body is not healthy. I'm not in the routine of doing the same thing over and over. But I mean, like, people shouldn't put the genetics under as their excuse.
I mean, actually, Aryan, like what you've said, incites like another argument. Some people, like, they need to stop. I wouldn't say making like pipe dreams or like thinking of pipe dreams, but you should work even if you have no chance of being Mr. Olympia, even if you have no chance of being anything at all, and just for the sake of working, you should just put in the effort. I think that's a much like healthier ideology, I would say.
Yeah, you have to go all the way. Do something.
Just do it, even if you fail, like even if you don't become anything at the end. Your effort is an indicative factor of your success.
But what was the like spark that you start to gym? What made you start going to gym and have some physical activities? I think you recently started. It's not that long for you, right?
I used to do some boxing before that, but I had never done any form of weight training at all. But it was like 2 years ago. Also, like he said, it was in the pandemic, right? And I was like if I stay at home, like
You would go crazy.
I'm gonna go crazy. So like, how about I should lift some weights? That's how it started. I started it, and surprisingly for me, I had some good newbie games. Like I had some good newbie games, and that gave motivation to keep going. And I found out that genetically, my lower body was much stronger than my upper body. Right? And I found out that I had the thickest, strongest ass, even more than most of the guys. Right? He knows. It's like this is a bit of irony, you know. But my upper body was weak, right? So what happened? Did that like stop me? No. Like my upper body.
That actually probably gave you more motivation to work on the upper body.
Even though, like, I might have genetically weak upper body, but that doesn't mean I'm weak in general.
Absolutely.
I'm stronger than almost most of the people around me, right? But obviously, with this guy, obviously, he just wins, right? So for example, if he does 50, I do 40. I'm right behind him, right? I'm right behind him, but I'm not gonna catch him anytime soon. So even my weak spot is other people's strong spot, right? Like, if you use it as an excuse, say that, okay, I'm weak in this area, I'm not going to train it. It should be the opposite. It should be like, I'm weak in this area, I should train.
Yeah.
Right?
Otherwise, it's counterproductive.
Yes, exactly. That's you just keep going, keep working out, keep grinding.
Having a gym body is a great thing. Like, indeed, I agree. But I have also like this question for you. Like, I mean, it's a cliche question. Are you on any sorts of steroids, or if not, would you consider like a steroid sort of cycle in the future?
Yeah, I'm on juice right now. So no, how is it started? Like when I started gym, I was slightly progressing. Like my body's getting bigger, and my environment in the gym, my friends there, they always telling me like, do you using steroids, hormones, something like that. I know one guy he was 40 years old and he was jacked. I think he used in Afghanistan steroids. He asked me, are you using steroids? Because actually I was producing more testosterone. My body was producing more testosterone than usual people, than the average people. So my body gets big in like 3 months. So people were like amazed, how you can do it. So and they see some pimples there, and they saw like, well, your back is full of pimples, and how you can. I said, no man, I just do the work,
eat the right way.
Yeah. I didn't even know what was steroids like until then. Like what was hormone? I don't know the name. Yes, I know the steroids, but the names like trend, like anabolic, like
anabolic steroids.
Yeah. That kind. After that, I researched, but I don't even consider it, because if I'm going to achieve my goal, like my goal, like great physique that I have in mind. If I'm going to achieve in a natural way, why should I waste my time getting steroids? It makes you faster to get you to make a great physique, but it costs.
Absolutely.
It costs your manhood.
Yeah, absolutely.
It shrinks your bones.
Because it disturbs the natural production of your body's testosterone.
Yeah. How it works? Your body naturally producing testosterone in normal day, and if you put juice in it, like steroids in your body, then your body stops producing testosterone.
Here's the funny thing, and most of the time when people see like super jack, he may be or may not be on steroids, right? And then there's somebody in the comment section is saying that you're on something, you're juicing something, and then you go and look at the profile picture, the person himself is like a skinny, scrawny little shit, right? You're like, you haven't touched a weight in your life. How the fuck are you going to assume this guy's on steroids?
Yeah.
He's like
people are so undereducated on
like
so many subjects.
He's like the biggest myth on steroids. Do you think it's like a magic drug? Where you take it and you wake up tomorrow?
I think it's like.
It's so hard.
Like,
so
here's the thing.
It's like
work. It's like, here's the thing, buddy.
4 hours in the gym.
Nothing.
Who the fuck spends 4 hours in the gym?
Nothing coming out of a green bottle is going to make you Captain America. Like,
it takes hard work.
Yeah.
We are living in real life. Like you can't do it. I know people that use steroids like in skinny, like their body weight, like they weigh like 54 kg, and they use steroids. Yeah. They didn't make progress. Why? Because they didn't build the basics of the body. Like
they have no core. Exactly.
No core, no basics. They didn't even lift a dumbbell in their life. And just when they start the gym, after 3 days, get some trim, and I want to.
I want to ask something.
And they got acne in their back.
Like everywhere, just
everywhere. They just ruined their life.
So I want to ask you something. For the last couple of years, we saw that going to gym is now in social media, and people start to go into gym. But one thing I was just curious about, why people are so against the steroids. Why they don't, like, if someone is doing it, it's a bad thing. It's like, I think it's a personal thing. If someone want to do it, they can do it, and if someone...
You can do it, but it's a cheat.
Actually, I have an answer for that. Here's the thing. People are not mad of steroid usage in general, but I mean, Arnold did it. Yeah. He admitted it on tape. Yeah. But it is the people, the body.
It's not a myth, look at the man.
I mean, the man says, however healthy you eat, you can never get the supplements that you need in order to be, in a professional competition.
That's the thing.
Yeah, but it is the people the influencers that don't admit steroid usage on social media, that they say, yeah, I'm fucking like natural, bro. These are the people that are.
I think we had a case for the Liver King.
Liver King was a bastard.
It's the term on. All he said is
He's
bullshit.
like balls and he's like.
If you
Making
look
balls and making you all
by looking at his six pack, like you can tell it's full of fucking juice, man. The guy is like.
And someone tweeted like, this man single-handedly convinced most people that he used.
This guy ain't touched meat in 10
balls and
years.
livers.
But like
who the fuck
even
did
in
he
all
do?
of the podcasts he went, that was the main topic. That do you use a steroid or not? But he was like, no, and I can prove it. And he started to prove it in social media. He went to doctors.
These are the type of influences that people hate. It's like if you're a natty, just fucking admit it. Right? No one is holding you on gun.
Even Joe Rogan said I'm on steroids. Like
it's a normal practice, but it's sort of like it's only good exclusively if you're like in a professional sort of competition or like.
Yeah, it's cost you. It's cost your manhood.
Yeah.
It's cost, like you can't have sex. You can't.
Because it's almost like, and forgive me for interrupting you, but it's almost like it's a life sentence. Because if as like at the minute that you cut the steroid cycle, you're gonna start growing tits, and you know your voice changes because your body starts producing more estrogen because of the irregularity in it.
So, but why, like, all people that they want to go to gym, I think after 35, like 30.
They're gonna stop doing it, otherwise they're like.
Yeah, but like some people, like you saw Jeff Bezos, how his body is look like.
Yeah, but
that guy is in his 50s and he's jacked as fuck. Like, so why those guys if it have all of the side effects?
But they have money. They have doctors that they like.
Absolutely, I do agree with this.
They give hormones to them like in a calculated thing like. They're not juicing them like fully like bodybuilders, because bodybuilders doesn't know how much they should get. They should get destroyed.
Also, there's one thing that people should know is that steroids is not just like one specific steroid which everyone uses.
No.
Like,
The different types.
At the moment, right now, right, medical science every day gets advanced day by day. And do you think someone rich as Jeff Bezos can find
Do you think
a
he's
steroid
gonna-
without side effects?
Do you think he's gonna take just the top of the shelf products?
By the
No.
way, people who do sports, right? Like professional bodybuilding, professional powerlifting, UFC fighters, all the boxers, every single one of them is on steroids. There's no
Hell
way
yeah.
possible. Like you see, like fighters like Khamzat or Khabib or Conor.
Khabib is
these
a
guys,
fucking
right?
beast, man.
These
He's a
guys,
beast.
like, if you look at them, right,
He's an
don't
animal.
you think for 1 second that they're natural?
No,
Not natural.
There's
Like,
no testing for
the strength, the
Nothing.
strength of their
Nothing.
tendons is fucking possible. The way they can lift it up and get smashed to the ground, there's no way that without some sort of thing they can fucking take that. I went to a gym, jiu-jitsu gym, like for a month, right? It's crazy in there.
Yeah.
It's fucking good.
I know, I've seen it. I've seen it, man. I've
I've
seen
heard
it.
myself so many times. Every single one of them is on there.
But here's the thing, there's also like the Chinese or like the Asian martial arts business. I mean, these guys, they don't really take steroids, do they? They just focus on like the natural way of living and how to convert, you know, power into sort of effectiveness and all of
There's
that.
a thing with the being natty is why it's so hard, because I experienced it. I said that I get big in 3 months, and after that the process was too slow. You don't want that. Most people want they don't have this patience to go through that process because it's too slow. But after your bicep gets like 17 inch, after that it won't get big in a natural way.
It reaches a flat line basically.
You just stop there and the constant the line goes like this and then a constant.
You either fall or stay the same.
If
basically.
you take a steroid, it goes up. It's like
And that's actually also connected to genetics, like how the threshold of your muscle size and mass. It's also connected to this.
So now I want to change the topic. It's about fitness and gym, but it's another way of talking it. How much does it affect you two guys mentally? Going to the gym.
Too much.
Too much.
Too much.
You
Mentally, let me tell you, I am more addicted to the gym in my head than my body is addicted to the gym. My head is more addicted to the gym than my body. Like it is. I don't know, but in a way, it also might be a bad thing because it is like addiction. Like, for example, if you don't go for like a day or two, you feel bad, you feel guilty, right? And then you start feeling like shit, right? And then, like obviously in the outside world, everyone has issues, everyone has problems, we have our own struggles, right? But at the end of the day, when we go to the gym, when we lift our weights, we feel much better after.
Absolutely.
Right? We feel like we can keep going and keep fighting. But when we stop doing that, it's almost as if a piece of our life is getting away from us. And that, in a way, is kind of sad.
So, once me and you talked about insecurities, how much gym, like as he said, the atmosphere that you have to talk to people, you get connections, you have relations in there, how much that affected your insecurities in life? I mean, one of the insecurities of a man is his body. All of the men are ashamed when they're not like, even before the girls, like you should have some confidence when you're jacked and stuff.
With men, one thing I tell you, one thing that worked for me, it worked for me greatly, right? When you look at the mirror, especially if you're a bodybuilder or a powerlifter, if you look in the mirror and let's say you're unsatisfied with the way your body looks.
Yeah.
Right now I have a belly. I have a belly right now, like I don't have abs. But I'm mad fucking strong. Right? You see, like men should measure themselves with strength. Not how they look. I had so many insecurities, like physically. I was like, like my ass is shaped like this, I got a belly out, I got this, I got that. But I saw it on those are the cons. Yeah. But the pros, I was getting mad fucking strong.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and show me a man here that doesn't want strength.
Too many people focus on aesthetics more than strength. I mean, look at Thor Olofsson, the power lifter. Yeah. That guy looks like, a mountain, but the strength that he has, incredible.
He looks like fucking pillow, bro. He looks like a pillow, but he's strong as
he
a
can lift
motherfucker.
gas canisters like a fucking bag of chips and just like, he's incredible.
That's why I said he's actually, we talked about
Also,
this.
sorry, like one thing, even his point, right? I guarantee you, he doesn't care about his body that much as he does his strength, right?
He eats
this
humans
guy,
for breakfast, man.
Bro, like this guy doesn't give a shit about his body, but he gives a shit about his strength, right? When he goes to the gym,
Strength
he does
is more
the
important.
heaviest shit, and because of you, I injured my hand because he keeps on doing heavy shit. I can't go through it.
Let me explain that. After like 3 days ago, we sat down with friends. Like they said, why are you going for shredding? You got big, like too much.
Yeah.
And he said it's enough for you. I said it's not enough. There's an insecurity in myself because I want to get more, got more stronger and dominate all the gym. Dominate all the gym. And they said that. I'm afraid of if I get shredded, I will lose my strength. It's gonna happen because you eat less and the body fat goes away and you work out with your core and it gets abs. Your body and my form will get a little bit like smaller. So I don't want that. I don't want to get lose my strength that I have. And I was there when he got injured, his wrist and his elbow. I didn't care. Because why? Why I didn't care? Because I know this man. He is one tough son of a bitch. Like he is.
Hey, fuck you.
He's a tough. He's a
tough son of.
But he's a tough guy, and I know that he will overcome. And this injury wouldn't hold him off. So. I said after 1 week or 2 weeks you'll get better. Even himself doesn't listen to the doctor. He goes to the doctor and the doctor said you have to rest for a week or maybe 2 weeks. He didn't listen and go like for the PR. When we do bench press, like for weeks we doing PRs like.
Actually, I have a funny injury story, bro. When you get into the gym and like you pass, the core sort of building phase and everything. You tend to have lots of testosterone stored in your body. So whenever you're doing, an exercise, you get basically a bullet, right? I was once doing, the casual sort of, what do you call it, like a bar pull, like while sitting like in a 90-degree sort of angle. What is this exercise called? Yeah. I was doing it with a bar, like with weights on it and everything. So I'm seeing you like here, like doing it. It was a relatively like heavy weight, and at the same time I had the bone.
Okay.
So I couldn't like take the weight like I only just fell down like on my dick.
Yeah, that's the things that.
It bruised it, man. It bruised it. I couldn't, you know.
Don't
whatever.
get offended, but I know a lot of guys like in the gym. I saw them. They are doing ego lifting.
Yeah.
You are not capable of lifting that way.
I did
Then
that
why
mistake,
you
and
doing-
I'm, you know, especially after this injury, I never did ego lifting.
That's enough for them. Like, they want to come to the gym after that.
Yeah.
It's like.
But I'll continue then. I was because of
It's like that. People wants to get big faster
Yeah,
and
yeah.
do the process faster. It's not the fastest way. The gym process is like slower and it takes much time.
It has to do also with education and like intellectual sort of, you know, enrichment. I mean, some people just think like if I.
Sorry.
Go
The
ahead.
thing we do obviously if you're a beginner, you should not go heavy. Like,
Absolutely, no.
Yeah.
Like ego lifting will fuck you up. Like there's a machine we call the leg press, right? We see so many idiots.
Leg day is the worst.
So basically,
They get all the plates from the
this is
gym.
what they do, yeah? There's this scrubby random kid that comes up, right? They load up every single plate they find into a leg press, and they do it wrong. Like, they do it like this much, and they go, I'm so strong.
Oh,
I
yeah.
did 300
The range of motion is like this.
but basically, let me tell you, if that weight comes down an inch, you're fucking screwed.
your back is done.
Because
Your muscle's gonna rip.
nobody is going to lift off
Nobody gonna
300
lift, yeah.
kilograms. Like even we cannot lift 300 kilograms off you, right? That's heavy ass shit. And you're gonna kill yourself.
Yeah, you know what? In the gold back in the 60s, 70s, you know, in the prime days of Arnold, he and his gym buddy, they used to basically do incremental lifting. So they start from a heavyweight down to a very lightweight, basically.
We call it the drop set.
Drop sets, yeah. So they start from like 200 pounds, and they're lifting it with so much like velocity. They go to like 2 or like 5 pounds, and they can't even lift the bar from the. That's the level of that's what you should do.
Yeah,
So-
it's called drop set and it's really heavy and it's an old style. It's an old style.
But it's effective, isn't it? It's like
Effective.
you're training your muscles
You know,
flexibility.
Towards the end, even just lifting your hand feels like lifting.
Yeah.
Even with the 4 kilos, we do the lateral raise and like drop set and
Oh, lats are the worst places.
the
to do
wars.
it.
Yeah,
Oh my
we
God.
started with the 20 kgs and then we go down to the 4 kgs, like 5-4 sets. After you came down to the 4 kgs, like you can't even. You can't even
lift it like
lift
mine.
it up there like this.
One thing I want to address. This is a different issue, different topic. It's actually I wanted to talk about this for a long time. Now I have the platform thanks to you. I'll speak about it. Is his body?
I was the co-founder of it as well. man.
Girlfriend.
Thank you, what? It is body dysmorphia, but this is an issue that affects a lot of people who go to the gym, especially people who are just beginning. Even people from 1 year, 2 years, start body dysmorphia. And they open social media and they immediately see like some jacked dude who's super ripped, right? And they go like, and they lose motivation, right?
Whose body took years to train, by the way.
9 years, or for example, like I am, like we do most like the powerlifting training, right? And we like deadlift like 200 kilos, right? And I go to the Instagram and I see a guy who he power cleans 200 kilograms and then he lifts it up. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what the hell? You're in complete
It's
source of
impossible.
motivation.
I can't imagine like I did my PR and deadlift is like 155 kg. You can't imagine how much
Pressure.
how much
inertia.
pressure is all
So
your
much
body
strength
takes
to
to
basically
lift
power
that.
clean.
It takes like days of that training just to get that. Not to mention also
Sure,
rest.
sure, like leaf and they're
And
like
then guys,
that.
also one second. So back to the issue is that these people, they look at these type of videos and these type of people who are doing all this amazing stuff, they lose motivation. I personally have experience. I've seen this.
That's a
Right?
mistake.
That's
a
actually,
mistake.
but you should know that behind every single one of these guys, right, it's either over like 9 years, like or 10 years of work, or most of them are not true. They're fucking lying.
I mean, some
the
of
guy
these-
you see who's jacked and is posing, right? First of all, he has like amazing fucking lightning. He has a pump,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like maybe maybe not his own fucking ear, right? And then he's pumping, right? If you look at the same guy when he wakes up, he looks like a fucking potato.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Do you know why? Because some of these like Instagram sort of influencers, they do a session of dehydration before taking the picture, so that they look almost like it happens. Like
Well, the pump thing is like fucking magic. Like when
Yeah.
you go to the gym and get pumped, it's totally different thing when you
Yeah.
get
Oh,
up
yeah.
in the morning
Oh,
and
yeah.
look at yourself.
just drink a shot of water and let's see how you fucking look.
But
Yeah.
also the thing with social media is people always show their best.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
They're cherry picked. Yeah. Cherry
They're
picked.
cherry picked as fuck. They're perfectly fucking polished. They make sure they're nice. Everything needs to be perfect.
Spotless.
And they post it. But if you look on the background of the amount of shitty cherries that's fucking passed,
Oh, yeah.
it's just that's how it
So
works.
you talked about this. Let me talk about injuries. Like I was the guy. I broke my ankle 3 times. I broke most of my fingers. I had a back problem. All of this stuff. But I made one mistake that I wish no one made in his life. And I have some friends, they're doing it nowadays. When you have an injury, you should rest. I didn't listen to my doctors. I was like, hell no. Like national camp is in 6 months. I have to go for it. I'm not stopping. I played with the worst ankles ever, and I sprained my ankles every time I was in the gym. I learned it in a hard way that when you have injuries, you have to actually rest. Even if your mind doesn't let you to do it, just go to the gym and sit down.
The only guy who doesn't listen to doctors is David Coggins. Man had a heart, like a hole in his
Yeah.
heart, and he just went, you know, to
I mean,
Navy
that
SEAL
guy
training.
built different.
No, we say he's built different, but he's also human. Like he,
Yeah.
what- there's something that intelligent people do. Like you have to start from somewhere. Like after you got injury, as you said, go to the gym and don't work on there. Work on something else. Work on like lower body. Work on your abs. Work on like cardio, or do something. Don't leave the process. Don't leave the gym.
It's actually-
People leave the gym like you injured your wrist or you injured your elbow. Why you leave the gym as a whole?
Yeah.
You have to continue
Completely
doing
different
anything.
things, exactly. Yeah. You know, there's this reminds me of a story of one like popular. I'm sure you heard of Manchester City. They won the treble.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
legally,
yeah.
legally won it.
I saw your story. I know what
Legally
you
won
mean.
it. We need to talk. We need to talk about this very soon. Well, let's keep it about fitness. İlkay Gündoğan, he faced a knee injury and he was supposed to retire at age like 22 or something. But he rested. He said, "I'm gonna rest for like a season, then go back to play." And you know, he now like won the Champions League. I mean, yeah, the players are talented. Surely, like Manchester didn't deserve that shit, but he played pretty good. Like even after having like a very critical like hamstring injury that would have put him away forever. It's like there's a difference between retirement and rest.
Yeah.
They're not like correlated. Like they don't have any relation between.
So
each
you
other.
open this topic, let me talk about basketball, the same scenario in basketball. My legend in basketball is Derrick Rose. You never heard of him probably.
Black.
He's black.
They're all black.
So that guy had ACL. He was the youngest MVP in NBA history. MVP is like the golden ball in basketball. So at age 22, I guess, he got the MVP. Next year, he had his first ACL injury.
ACL is a fucking bitch.
He
man.
got the but the problem was he didn't get rest as much as he needed. Next year, 2013, in the end of the season, he came back and he had the same injury in his right leg. So that was Derrick Rose. Now you probably heard of the NBA championship just finished and Denver Nuggets won the championship. There was a guy in that team. His name is Jamal Murray.
I know him.
Yeah. You saw my story. I'll post him. 3 years ago, he had the same injury that Derrick Rose had. ACL injury, worst injury in basketball. Most of the players, when they have this injury, they're gone basically. Like what happened to Derrick Rose. So this guy rested for 2 years. He didn't play for 2 years, and now he is the NBA championship, and he was a huge help to his team. And like there was an interview. He was like, when he got the injury, he was in the car going to the hospital. He was crying that like, oh, you guys now want to trade me? I promise I will come back and stuff. but the owner of the team was like, no, we're not trading you. We're gonna stay here. He came back much further than he's before the injury.
Do you know why? These type of players, when they take a rest out of injury, sure, they physically rest, but mentally speaking, they don't. They don't. They're training in their fucking heads, man, all the time.
So that's why I have one friend in here. He had a knee injury. He played soccer, and there was a tournament in our university, a futsal tournament, and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna play. I'm gonna not push any. Like, I'm not gonna play hard and stuff." I was like, "Bro, it's knee injury. If you fuck it once, it's never gonna come back. Just rest for a while. When you're good, you can play, and you don't have any stress to play." Because when I had my injuries, I was like, one of the reasons I couldn't play the way I wanted to was because if I jumped this time, my ankle will be gone.
Yeah, just snap. You need terrible, man.
So that was the story about injuries, and I hope like people like you listen and at least rest for a while. Even when I say rest your hands. Go to the gym and do other stuff, but
he got his lesson, like, and now you understand that.
My doctor, he sat me down. He's like, he just looked at me. He's like, "You're a fucking idiot." like, are you crazy?
What are you talking about, dog? I just lift 500 pounds on my left hand.
He's like, "Fuck you," and like he said, life teaches you the hard way.
Here's the thing: if your injury is not directly correlated to your daily routine of exercising, I would have told you just don't take a rest. Here's another example, like Karim
Benzema. He was talking. Sorry, he was in the middle of talking. He was saying something. Look, the way he's looking at you, he was like angry. Look.
If you want to continue, we can just continue. All right, then let me fucking help you. It's okay. Karim Benzema, he broke his pinky, like in his some like strings in his hand, and told him not to play for a season. He took just a wrap and he wrapped it. I mean, because this injury is not really related to his style of playing or like his style of exercising even.
Now this is his signature, basically.
The hand thing. Yeah. So probably take it, a little notch down. Just maybe work. Maybe not stop working like indefinitely, but like sort of work a little less harder.
There is like two types of people who say rest. There are types of people who rest and they fucking completely give up.
Yeah. They just go back to square one, basically.
There's the type of people who rest a specific area and still train the other areas.
Yeah.
Right? Well, like for us as men, this is the fact that like if I was a girl and my hand was injured, I'll be training legs every day. I'll be having so much fun. In 1 month, I would have the fucking thickest ass you've ever seen. Right?
I mean, true. I mean,
But as for us, kind of men, we're more focused on like the upper body.
Oh yeah.
And like when you have everything you do is you do with hands.
Leg day is the fucking worst thing. Like I think I've never seen someone who enjoys leg work. Do you genuinely enjoy working out your legs?
At first I wasn't. but
Gym body benefits.
Yeah, gym body benefits. Because he liked it so much, and I was like interested in it. Like what you see in leg day.
Complex style.
Yeah, complex style, and I saw some influential YouTube videos like complex. And I said, after that you can train me in legs, and I will train you in the upper body. So we agreed on that, and it's like mutual agreement. I train him like chest day and shoulders and upper body. He trained me leg day, and his leg day training is brutal.
It is.
It's complex.
It gets on your mind, man. It really gets on your mind. Doing the squats and deadlift is the most hard thing.
Like he's squatting and I'm beating him. Pussy! Get up, pussy! Get up, pussy!
That's a good thing to have, a gym body that motivates you, really. I wish I had
last week we do like, I don't know, it was 70 kg, 75 kg. We do like 30 reps. Yeah, it's like 25, 30 reps. My body was shivering and like I was done. I laid myself in the middle of the gym, and he was like, "You have to do it. Give up. You don't have to give up. Proceed. Come on, come on."
He was on the ground. He was on the ground. I was like, "Who's gonna carry the boats?"
And the hogs.
I was laughing.
Who's gonna carry the boats?
Yeah, I was laughing, and at the same time,
They don't know me,
pain
so
was like I was in enormous pain, and he said like, "Now you want to give up?" And I looked at him and he just said, "Okay," and take his hand and like go there. That's the benefit of the gym bro.
Yeah.
He pushes you. If I was alone, I wouldn't go like 20 reps. I was go like 15 or maybe 20, 12 reps, and then stop.
One thing in my basketball really helped me. I had a friend that we have this healthy, friendly competition between each other, and we were angry at each other for no. It wasn't like mean angry, but we were angry. What he's shooting 10 of them and 8 of them, he's making 8 of them. I have to make none of them. So this thing really helped me, especially in my shooting, because I was a shooting guard. So this thing really helped me because that guy always make me like we both push each other towards forward. So every day we had this progress in everything. I mean, this kind of healthy. I think you two have this thing that's why you fuck your hand.
No, that's toxic. Yeah.
Toxic. Our was friendly kind of competition that
Our competition was only, but people say we know how much we know our limits. Like it's not, but they were wrong.
Yeah.
We wouldn't know our limit because we were like in the heat of the gym. Like,
You just focus on the weight, so it's like I'm gonna fucking eat them.
yeah, we take pre-workouts.
Funny thing is, like, we're doing heavyweights, we're gonna give you that competition. Like, yeah, no, please.
We take like pre-workouts, me and him. We have to do pure.
Yeah.
How many pure we did like in 2 weeks?
We did like this so.
You guys also do supersets as well?
Yeah. Yeah, we do all kinds of things.
All the time.
You know, I wish they added leaderboard.
Like we do like heavyweights. Like
Yeah,
that is
heavyweights.
really dangerous.
Yeah.
We do not suggest heavyweights. Bad idea.
Sometimes he said, like, are you a powerlifter? Like, you change your profession
How
from
do you-
bodybuilding to powerlifter.
I think he did. He tried to make
Yeah. After I saw him, like, he deadlifting like 190 kgs. It's like, how the fuck you can lift there? And I was like going crazy. And I have to do my PR. And in 2 weeks, I go from like, I wouldn't do deadlift because of my back. I don't like it. So after I start training with him, and I go from 110 kgs to 155 kgs in 2 weeks.
Jeez. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's a really good
2
record.
weeks because of him. Like he pushes me. You can do it, man. Take my headphones and like I play a song and then you can go with
So
it.
basically, while he's not watching, I slowly slip on the weight.
You know, yeah, we should probably join the lot. You know, or
Join them.
yeah.
They eat us for breakfast.
Well, that's the point, though. It's like
No, that's the point. I said earlier that one of my friends introduced us with the other skinny guy, and he's too excited with us. Like he always comes. Last night, he told him how to bench press. I told him how to do incline bench press.
Yeah.
And he was excited. It's a good thing, and we don't like
Yeah.
eat you. Like,
here's the thing, you know, having a gym body and your technique also counts. You know, if you're doing multiple let's say for one day you worked on your upper body, you did chest flyers, chin ups, all of that. If you keep doing that, like
your body will
get used to it, and then you have to shock the muscle. But if you keep shocking the muscle every day, you keep
Shock the muscle. Like almost sudden grab.
you're doing leg press and then you get the
All of a
double.
sudden.
yeah, and then your body's gonna say, "What the fuck is going on?"
Is it
Yeah.
okay? Can you check what's recording?
That's what I'm afraid of.
It is. Yeah.
Hell fucking.
Okay, good. Thank God.
Yes.
Let's give it for a second. You know,
Just 1 hour, like into the
Just
fucking trash
We
can.
would blame Mustafa.
Just one thing I just want to say before you can take a break. Just the specific thing, it's just like I've been a bit butthurt about this for like quite a while, but I don't usually speak up to people. I do speak up to people.
You
but
can
I-
do it in our podcast. It's fine.
but I don't do it in their way.
Yeah.
There's some people in life around you when they are completely in a horrible place themselves and they give you advice on where to go, and you just stand up and you look at me like, motherfucker, you look fat as fuck. Who are you to tell me that? I mean, obviously, the way that
It's
may
like-
seem like I have ego or anything, but no, it's
No,
not.
it is true.
It's
I
like-
see this all the time. It's like
for example, I've had some people who come up to me and tell me that, you have to do this, or you have to do that. And then I'm like, okay, I look
Why
at
haven't
it,
you
I'm
done
like,
it?
I'm like, what are you
Yeah,
doing?
yeah.
I mean, if you show some level of commitment. You'd be like working out, you're a trainer.
I would
you're a
consider your
teacher,
advice,
right?
yeah.
Even if you're fat, I would say, and you have experience, you're a teacher, right? You're literally a piece of shit yourself,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like this doesn't just apply in training; it applies everywhere in life.
No, I have this saying from like my favorite like game designer programmer. He was the one who made Minecraft, not Marcus Pearson. He said like people on this earth should take their own advices, like otherwise we're not going to be effective. And I see this all the time. You like some heroin addict gives like a TED fucking a TED talk about the benefits of whatever.
Especially when you're sitting with families or like your cousin starts, oh, you have to invest in Bitcoin
Oh my god,
now.
I hate this shit, man. It's like
Bitcoin gonna rise, and like, bro, if it's gonna rise, why you're not investing yourself?
it's like my alcoholic uncle giving me financial advices. It's like, yeah, I would take that.
Yeah, I experienced friendship goes down because of that kind of things. They invested money together and then the shit goes down.
This is
They
gambling.
burn dollars.
Yeah, it was.
Should we take a break?
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna stop like anyway,
It's
like
like
10 minutes.
1 hour, because I like.
Don't stop anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
4 minutes left. Like, it's
Anything
like
else we talk about?
4 minutes.
I mean,
How it's affect your character? Like gym is also affecting
absolutely,
your character.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
It sort of like chisels your character. I feel like.
Yeah, it beats you down and make you understand how to look life in different perspective.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's the most important thing.
Bro, I once tried a cold dip. Like a bathtub filled with ice cubes. I once tried it like once. I see it all the time. Everyone does it. I guarantee you, like I have never experienced such thing like before, because everything bad just flashes before like your eyes when you're doing like a cold dip. But once you get out of it, it's gone. It's gone out of your head.
For the last year or so, I'm starting to have only cold showers. Like it's
Me too.
like even nowadays, it's hard for me to get under the cold shower. I don't. You always want to be in the comfort zone. You don't want to like put your body in like not in the line, but out of your zone. Even now it's hard, but every time I took shower, I'm fresh. Like I just woke up from a good sleep.
Do you know, guys, actually, I saw this the other day. I speak about this guy a few times here, Dr. Andrew Huber, right? That guy.
The
this
hormone
guy-
specialist,
yeah,
right?
hormones. He basically, everything he says is backed by research. It's all facts, right?
He's a PhD in Stanford.
He's a researcher.
Yeah.
So basically, what he says? He says that there is a degree of dopamine in pain, right? You know what that means?
Yeah.
People can enjoy pain.
Yeah.
Right? You can let's say cold showers is painless, right? But if you go in it with I can do this fucking attitude, in time, you will slowly enjoy that cold shower.
It's like from people who are scared of fight, they go and jump out of parachute. At first it is scary, but when you face your fear, you damn, it feels good. Because personally for me, I am scared of heights, any kind of height. But once I done a parachute, I was like,
Mama, this is our motto.
Yeah.
It's like men are afraid of the unknown, but once man has faced the unknown, that fear becomes the known.
I hope people understand what you just said.
I don't know if you guys experienced, but there's something I want to tell back. Do you guys enjoy pain?
Some kind of pain, yes.
Mental or
Parentheses, BDSM.
not physical pain,
Slap me tonight.
I enjoy the pain of exercising.
No, not physical, mentally.
What kind of
something bothers you and gives you pain, and you use it as a fuel.
Yeah.
Use it as a fuel, and this fuel makes you go to workout, makes you go to dance.
When I go to the gym, I had the same experience.
Exactly.
It's like I like the stress that lifting weights gives me. It gives me fuel. I get what you mean. That's the only
After
thing.
you get addicted to the pain, the life will be easy and much easier to go down. It's on automatic.
Yeah.
It's
I
very
can make you go in a wheelchair if you like pain.
And we have our, friendly terrorist here. That's just one of the things that he usually says on
You
every
should
podcast.
try this once with
Would you like
someone.
in a wheelchair?
No, I'm good.
I just see one line.
Even now, I don't have legs. So even if you don't do it, I'm
I
wondering.
mean, people enjoy pain, so.
Yeah.
Up to a certain extent, we like to keep ourselves walking, you know.
Give it a limit.
You saw the meme that a guy bring a girl to his bed and he said there was a wheelchair there and I said, what is the wheelchair for? He said, for you. I was like, no, I can walk perfectly.
Big child is called.
Yeah, I think something like this. I sent it to him. Like,
It's temporary.
yeah.
I think the benefit of this discussion was to say that the idea of working out, the idea of working for anything,
Yeah, you have to build that idea. in your mind,
isn't necessarily about the results, but about the effort that you put in. The effort that you put in defines the entire process. That's what you should focus on.
Yeah.
And it should influence the teenager or the
Absolutely.
young guys that
Absolutely.
they saw that
Absolutely.
they should make a difference in their life.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it doesn't mean anything.
You know, guys, there's like this joke. It's kind of dark, but it's funny as hell, right? So there used to be back in the 1800s, there was a slave. It was a black person, but it was a slave. He was 2 meters tall, right? And he was super strong. He was super jacked, right? So basically,
Django.
So basically, this slave guy lived like crazy. He had riches and everything. Even though he was a slave, you know why? Because they used him for breeding. They used it for breeding, so the other stronger black slaves kind of they made more out of him. He had 200 children, right? And I saw this the whole.
What movie did you watch?
It was
But keep it close to you.
oh yeah.
I didn't think
It was like a documentary.
I didn't think he was
He was a joke, right?
Did you watch this incident on a
It
VHS
was-
tape
it was
somewhere in the dark alley?
It was a documentary, and then I went to the comment section, and I died laughing. You know what happened? There was a guy who wrote, "Okay, I saw the NFL was born."
Well then.
So the NFL was born from this.
Actually, this is something that I would believe. If there's a farm somewhere, I would believe that shit.
It makes
Yeah.
sense.
So, I mean, now we're gonna finish it, but I want to say something about the last episode of our podcast. You know, wait. I want to say this because if I don't say it, I wouldn't be satisfied.
Sure.
One thing is in this podcast, when we bring people to this podcast, we don't necessarily have same ideas with him.
Sure.
If you watch the last episodes carefully, you saw Karim wasn't agreeing with Hussein. I wasn't agreeing
I was
with
trying
Hussein.
to prove how much
And
of an
he was
idiot
sleeping.
he was.
He was sleeping the whole
I
time.
was also agreeing. I wasn't agreeing with him, bro. I wasn't with him.
So you didn't talk in the whole podcast. I think you talked for 2 minutes.
Bro, he was on his cheat day. It's okay. It's okay.
So one thing that people should realize that in this podcast, we bring different people with different ideas, and if you don't like it, it's your own problem.
Yeah. Let me just say, the entire purpose of this podcast is to give a platform to everyone. Otherwise, it will be just like
Yeah.
any fucking Republican speech.
No battery? When? Right now. So can you
Yeah,
switch
I can just use this.
So
It's way too close, actually. Wait, just.
Yo, Sonia, why don't you record a personal message with this?
Is it fine?
Yeah, I
With
can.
the show? Yo,
Karim, we
cut
should
it.
stop it.
Yeah, stop.